Hi everyone, it's the 11th of June. ES couldn't break that purple resistance so far. It has been trying, but so far no success. We are inside this blue triangle, right? This is quite a nice three touches on the top, two touches, maybe we'll see a touch or touch at, I think today's support would be around 5351. If it touches that blue one and then starts to rally and we break out of the triangle, that breakout would trigger the break of that purple resistance, I think. And the red bottom band is also a potential support. So for this red channel to stay intact, the red support has to hold. Maybe we're going to bounce, come back down, touch that blue and red together. So for this market, for this little short-term action to keep going, ES shouldn't drop, shouldn't fall below 5347, somewhere there. So that red and blue, I'm going to remove the internal one, right? That red and blue, if we see a bounce off the red and blue together, we should start to rally again to new all-time highs. This is SPX cash. The purple resistance rail is still holding exactly the same picture here. The blue support or the potential support hasn't been tested, but it came very close to it just this morning, and the red channel. So it shouldn't drop below 5337 or 38, somewhere there. So another 10 points drop, it would basically spoil or ruin this beautiful setup. Obviously, then we would see more downside all of a sudden. So I'm also watching, of course, Dow Jones. Let's see if we have this green bear flag. The internals are here. The green bottom band, the green top band. Obviously, this is bearish. I mean, especially if it comes down and breaks it to the downside, Dow Jones is gonna, well, tank and maybe, possibly, is gonna touch the, let me show you on the long term. I'm gonna show you the long-term chart right there, okay? Just forget about that green bear flag for the moment. This is that green bear flag that I just showed you. But the green potential uptrends bottom band, that would be tested. And if it doesn't hold, then the next support would be that purple broken resistance. This is the high of 22. This is the high of 23. Then at end of 23, we broke that. So we may come down for a back test. And it would also be the blue support if it gets there. So if we see a big crash, big sell-off, that is going to be 37,300 or so on the futures data. Okay, so this is the upside if that green bear flag breaks to the downside. Okay, and that would actually call for a short entry. I mean, if it touches the green bottom band and then breaks it, I'm going to mark this as golden color just to make a differentiation between this green one. So the golden bear flag. Dow Jones cash is also, I'm going to make it in golden color, right? That is a potential bear flag. And if we see a break to the downside, then I'm always posting the charts, but I usually can't give a level. Okay, I gave the level for ES, but I usually can't give a level because of the diagonal nature of that support. So the best way to play these is you basically mimic my charts, mimic those lines on your own platforms and start watching them. So that's the best way to go at it. Now, is it going to come down to this blue and purple? If it gets there, I'm going to let you know, obviously. That is also just below 37,500. And there's also this green bottom band that is before the blue and a purple support. So there is that green potential support that we also will see if it starts to come down again. This looks slightly more bearish on NASDAQ. yeah, that black resistance right there couldn't be taken out. So many touches. Obviously, that blue internal resistance was also acting here. The red, the red, um, the red channel to the upside has been broken and back tested, and that looks bearish, at least short term. But we are still inside this blue uptrend. Excuse me. So we'll see. And NASDAQ cash also looking bearish because of this broken red bear flag and its back test. Without making a new high, it reversed. So the black resistance is a line in the sand, and we will have to break that, obviously. Is it going to come down to the blue bottom band and then a rally? That remains to be seen. And that blue bottom band would be, if it starts to come down, and actually I may even argue that we may have a support here, that blue one. That's kind of an internal support of that blue channel, right? It's quite parallel to the rest of the blue channel. So is it going to bounce off the blue and then start to rally? That's the question. But if it bounces and then breaks, that's going to be a support, 3-touch support break. And that, I think, is going to cause more downside to maybe to this blue bottom band, that blue channel right there. Again, you will have to mimic this blue channel and watch out for the touch on that blue bottom band. If it gets there, then you can start buying it. I'm talking about the video only members, because on the futures I always update the charts timely, but the video members don't have access to X on the futures, like the futures private Twitter handle. So they will have to mimic those charts. All right, now the red support right there. The red support 1, 2, 3, and it just held. So wishful thinking, I was saying, the wishful thinking may become a real thinking. But you can see the red support caused the bounce together with the green. So that was a double support. Yesterday in the aftermarket, like not after the video, after I saw this one, that double support, that green plus red, that's a perfect bounce. Now the perfect resistance is there. So it is, this green one is a declining wedge. So this could go both ways, and you can take position based on that. This is a perfectly confirmed support. Actually, it's a double support. So if we break that level, red and green, you will have to short it. That is going to open the way for at least 1900. We will see the lows of January and April, I believe, at least. But if it breaks this green resistance, right, that wedge, if it starts to break out, that's going to be a long entry. So the level to short would be around 2010. Maybe if you want to go safe, 2000, just literally 2000. But if you want to buy it at the breakout, the breakout level would be around 2031, 32. Again, you will have to draw these lines by yourself and buy or sell the breakout direction. FTSE is coming closer to this green bottom band, and this is the moment of truth for this green channel from the lows of January. Okay, we had broken that red major resistance at 8,050 from the highs of 2018, right? That was the breakout. I had mentioned a few times we rallied 450 points, close to 450 points. You can see it was broken, back tested, and rallied. Now the green bottom band, another few points, the green bottom band is going to be tested, and that is the moment of truth for that green resistance, or potential support. Right. Now DAX is inside the green downtrend, It just bounced off the golden plus blue double support this morning, just before I started recording the video. Okay, that blue internal support is broken, so that's bearish, but the golden support is holding. The blue support, the blue resistance became a support. I'm going to remove that one. I don't like that when after it makes a new low. But this golden one is holding. The red is a bull flag still. And the ideal scenario is that it rallies, it breaks this green top band. It rallies, maybe comes back down one more time, and then breaks that green top band, which should take us to the red top band. Maybe eventually even break it. But of course, the bearish scenario would be play out by breaking the golden and the red bottom band. That would cause a really big dive, I think, because that would basically invalidate the bull flag. It would invalidate. It would actually break to the downside, which would be terrible. TLT, golden bull flags back test is holding. So I think we're going to keep on running from here, which is going to be very bullish for the small caps, Russell 2000. ZN is also, you can see the perfect backtest on the blue broken bull flag, and it's bouncing already. So I think we're going to rally to that golden top band from here. So bonds up, yeah, and that's why I think it's going to get bullish overall, because interest rates are going to come down. Okay, now we have oil. It backtested the green zone, that support zone. It held for a while, but now it's broken. It has just tested the blue top band, which was a potential resistance. Now it just held. The green top band and the blue, they are kind of damaged, a little bit dented. So is it going to come down and break that green bottom band? And if it does, then it's a short entry on US oil. And Brent oil is also kind of disappointing for the bears like myself, because I wanted to short the reversal at the red backtest, red broken supports backtest, but it pushed through. It stopped at the red top band. This red channel is a bear flag. And we also have this golden top band. We also have this green 3-touch resistance. So there is still serious overhead resistance for Brent oil. And that's why I'm still leaning very bearish here. Obviously, if it breaks that golden and green and anything above 83, that is going to change my stance again. Like it will have to, right? But to me, the fact that the bear flag is broken, that red giant bear flag is broken, that blue resistance, overhead resistance, and it has sold off so much, I think this is just a bounce before the next leg down. That's how I see it. Now, natural gas came very close to the green top band yesterday. It didn't touch it, but you can see the red broken resistance, right? This one. After the reversal yesterday, it just got back tested and we saw a bounce. So this is very important now. For a bearish reversal, okay, that green top band has to stand its ground, and then it should break this golden support and the red, and then it should come down. And it is a big if, obviously. So the level for that green top band is 3100, 3102. So to be more precise, 3102, 310, 3100. Okay, that's another 30 points to go, 30 ticks to go. Is it going to reverse and come down? That's the big question. And natural gas July contract is coming closer to this golden potential resistance. This is a high of November last year. This is the July contract. That's the second touch. And that golden top band is actually slightly higher than that green top band on the continuous, which is at 3120. Yeah, that may turn into a resistance as well. But either way, I think even if it comes down, the green bottom band would hold, and then we would see a big rally starting. I mean, it may hold that green bottom band, all right? Let's have a look at gold. It finally came down, obviously, to my golden bottom band at 2300. It actually tested below 2290, 2287. This is not ideal. Obviously, that golden bottom band kind of got damaged. But if you look at the futures continuous chart, right, it has a bit more downside to touch the golden bottom band. This is the futures continuous chart. You can see that golden resistance, support, another support, another support. So we may get another touch on that golden bottom band. We don't have to, but it may touch that golden bottom band one more time together with that blue support rail. So the level on that golden plus blue is going to be 2300 on the futures continues. I'm not saying it's going to test it, but if it does test and if it holds, I think we're going to see a big rally starting to basically gain back the spike down, right? This is the spike down from basically the initial spike down was caused by China cutting gold purchases, cutting off on gold purchases, and the second was NFP, the non-farm payrolls. Silver is still inside the red uptrend. It's just making new marginal lows this morning. Is it going to touch that green plus blue plus red? So I think that's a very big major support zone, a cluster of supports. Spot chart is 29.22, and I think that spot price current is 29.22, and it may come down to 28.75, 28.80, and then from there, I think we're going to see a big rally starting. So silver continuous chart, right, on silver's futures continuous chart. If we look at it, it could also, let me show you, right, this is more or less the same chart really. That blue support and the red channel, they're all holding, yeah? So we may see it rallying, start to rally, well, as soon as today or tomorrow. I mean, hard to say, but yeah, hard to say whether we're going to make another marginal low and then start to rally. So I'm going to put this red top band and I'm going to put this red bottom band properly and see whether there's going to be one more marginal low, and to stay inside the red uptrend, it will have to recognize that blue and red support, that double support. On the futures, it's going to be $29 or just below 29.10, something like that. So we'll see. And obviously that blue top band, obviously this could turn into a bull flag and then break to the upside eventually. Platinum came to another marginal low and very deep, digging very deep, and it's inside the red bull flag still and the blue downtrend. So they all have to, so this here is a very critical level, 956, and it's touching that red bottom band. Hopefully we're going to bounce, we're going to get to that blue top band and break it to the upside. So I'm holding a very small 981 long, and I'm hoping that we're not going to break this support, that green, blue, red, they're all lined up for a bottom out on platinum. But yeah, we'll see. This here is copper. And unfortunately, even though we had an initial bounce off the green bottom band, it is now forcing that green bottom band to break. So I thought we'll see it get to that black, maybe pull back a little bit and then break out. But the metals are under pressure. So we'll see. Forex, Euro has been backtesting the green broken channel, right? This is the green broken channel. This is now bouncing. It's not bouncing yet, But this is the lost ground from the NFP numbers. So if it wants to rally, we should do it as soon as possible while staying out of this green potential, the green broken channel. We are inside the red. So that red top band was a potential resistance and it held. Then we sank. I mean, it's a big move to the downside with the non-farm payrolls on Friday. Pound sterling is inside. I mean, it's stronger, as you can see. This green support is holding, and we have this golden potential uptrend with one touch on the bottom band, so we can't call it a channel yet. But this green sideways channel is okay, and pound sterling has already started the recovery of the NFP, so that is positive. US dollar Japanese yen had broken that black resistance, and it's still inside this golden uptrend and the blue. So is there going to be more upside, or is it going to come down, break the golden and blue? And if it does, I think UJ is over. US dollar, I don't think US dollar Japanese yen is going to get to 158 one more time. I mean, if it does, that blue top band would become, that's going to be around 158.50. So is it going to get there or not? That's the big question. I will watch this action very carefully. The break of that black resistance and its back test is, of course, looking like a bullish thing, but it was made by the NFP numbers release. So usually this news triggered action is not very reliable. DXY is off the golden. So you can see the golden one was broken, but then we had a bounce. Now it's at that blue resistance. Even if it does, of course, break it, then it's going to be very bad for the rest of for all those monies that I just covered. But if this blue resistance can't be broken and it reverses, then yes, the XY is going to come down. Aussie dollar is off this golden support so far, but obviously it is still inside this blue giant downtrend, and it's a bull flag normally. Yeah, this here is the post of the flag, right? And this is the flag itself. Okay, so is it going to run and break that red top band, or is it going to run, backtest the golden broken channel, and then come down much harder? So that's a question to be answered. Now we have Kiwi, which reversed at that golden resistance. So I'm going to put it on the daily, right, to show you that golden resistance one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the blue. Now we have this black support that is holding at the moment, right? 1, 2, 3 touches. That's a perfect 3-touch support. Clearly, if it starts to rally to gain back the NFP sell-off, backtest the purple, and then come down to break that black, that is going to be terrible for for the entire market, or the rest of the forex against US dollar. Okay, so coffee had broken that golden channel, and it's coming down to, actually, did it fill the gap? It didn't fill this gap, but I think it will touch that blue bottom band, and then we're going to see whether it can rally or not. So we'll see. But this is why I close half of the long, and I'm holding the remaining, thinking or hoping that we're going to eventually get to 250 or 270 even. This is wheat, and I think wheat is ready to put in another low. And this green top band, the green bottom band, this is the low of 23, low of December 23, no, November 23. Yeah, this kind of a geometrical, it's not really a channel, but you can see the green top band was also back tested here. So that green broken channel, or that resistance, should actually hold. So I'm gonna make it like a rail, right? So if it does hold, we should see a big rally to start. And on the July contract, right, this red giant broken channel is getting back tested, obviously very deep back test, but it's also back testing the blue broken bear flag to the upside, so failed bear flag to the upside. You can see, and we are also inside this perfect green veg. So I'm going to put this on 4 hourly to show you that veg. That looks very orderly. Okay, so I think we're going to see a bounce. Yeah, and ultimately we're going to break out of that green veg if it starts to bounce here. Soybeans is still targeting probably that red bottom band, and then we shall see a rally. And similarly on July contract, that red bottom band is at 1160, 65, maybe 65. And then I think we may put in a low and start to run again. Corn, slightly more positive than the others. Okay, and it's inside the red uptrend. This is the continuous chart, which is, of course, which may turn into a bear flag. It's out of the golden, it's getting to the blue top band. If it touches, pulls back, and then breaks out, I think it's going to rally to 475 plus. And corn July contract is the same. Yeah, it's off that red and black supports. So if it touches that green, pulls back a little bit, and then break out, that would be very nice. This is sugar. It is disappointed big time. Okay, and the reason is this July contract, the golden top band was broken and back tested, and we saw a bounce to 1925. My mistake that I didn't close half of the position because that would have covered my stop loss. Okay, but actually it just came back, penetrated back into the golden failed bear flag, right? It was broken to the upside, back test, but this back test is not good. So the red little bull flag, there's a bull flag here. Obviously the bottom band is kind of damaged, but for a rally, it really has to go to the red top band and break it to the upside. But I'm out of the sugar long for now. And it's also on the continuous chart. This blue channel is still very much intact. And as long as this blue support doesn't break, which would be at 1830, 1820, there is hope for a mega rally to start and to break that red and green and everything. So there is still hope. And last but not least is cotton. It's coming closer to that red plus golden, and then we should see a rally at 67. Now, one of the members sent me a Bitcoin curve made by someone else. I forgot, but it looks very impressive, I must say. So I basically recreated that curve, and it explains why Bitcoin is reversing. It's this red top band, obviously, that is like a short-term resistance that I've been showing, but it actually is, instead of a line, it's actually a curve. It's not really like it's made up of a curve here. So it's not some random curve, okay? It touches the high of 2014, 2018, 2021, 2022, 2024. And if we look at it at a very close look, that red resistance I was already showing you, right? I already showed you many times as a single line, but actually it's part of the curve. And what we have here is a proper breakdown. Excuse me. That green channel was already broken and back tested. That red resistance didn't let go. That perfect resistance. Now the green bottom band, this little channel here, which was parallel to the bigger one, yeah, that bottom band is also broken. And finally, this golden support is broken, which suggests that we are going to at least revisit 65. So around 64, 65,000. That blue bottom band is going to be tested. And clearly, if we see a break later on of that one as well, that is going to be pretty much game over for quite some time. Okay? because this is the low of last November. So that is where the trend has started. And the blue bottom band, blue top band, this is an unorthodox channel, but it is still a channel. Unorthodox means the two touches happens consecutively on the top, and the two touches on the bottom also consecutively after after the first two touches on the top. It's not really a channel like the green one. As you can see, it's alternating on both touches, on both sides, alternating touches. But this is different. That's why I always call this an unorthodox channel, but it is what it is. Everything is crumbling at the moment, even Ethereum, right? That spike up was not reliable anyway, and I said it is probably going to come down to erase these gains from the ETF news, and it just broke down that black support right there, and that's why it's coming down, and I think it has more downside. BNB is the worst one of them all. I mean, after trying such a hard, I mean, it putting such a big fight, it has, excuse me, broken back into the giant bull flag. This broken bull flag is broken back into. This is very, very disappointing, clearly. But this comes back to what I always say: without Bitcoin, nothing can move. Without Bitcoin, still nothing can move. Despite many people saying, "Oh, altcoins are going to be different, this and that." Well, this is a proof that they are not. It's just when Bitcoin sneezes, everybody gets sick. And look and see, Coty has broken that red support. The green resistance held, and it's coming down. CAS is down 3%. It's inside the green bull flag. Jasmy down 7%, and it's coming back for a backtest on that green broken bull flag. Chili's, no breakout, and it may actually, in fact, break that golden support. Aave, excuse me, down 3%. It's not really doing much. ACH, right? It has broken that red support, the one I showed yesterday. That's why it's selling. And ADA has broken that blue support, internal support. That's why it's turning bearish, even though the black channel was broken to the upside. ATA also very bad because of the red and golden supports broken. Audio, no break of that red channel, red giant downtrend. That's a bull flag. AVAX may break that golden bottom band and sink further. BMEX, no, it's actually trying to bounce off the blue support, but I think there's going to be more downside for this one. It doesn't show any signs of proper rally, no signs of life. CKB just cleared this red support. That standalone support is broken, which is why CKB maybe wants to come down to this level, that golden broken resistances back test. Okay, and Dash is forcing that red support. That's not really bad. That's not really good. Data, not good. Dogecoin, again, not really good because of the black resistance that is still holding. And Polkadot has broken that golden support really bad. DYDX is looking terrible because it just cleared that red support and it's now bouncing. I mean, it's trying to stay inside the golden sideways channel, right? Is it going to make it or not? That's the question. We'll see. FTM, not good. GRT coming down for maybe another backtest on that red support, which is not ideal. Hive is done. Hive is not really good, guys. That is not good. But it's inside the red downtrend, right? So maybe ultimately it will run at some point in the future, but at the moment, no. Chainlink maybe coming down to this golden support. Litecoin, that green support is broken and it's coming down to this probably that red plus blue. Mana has broken the red support. Is it going to rally off the green or not? That's the question. Matic is forcing that blue support to break. That is really bad. And if it does break, then Matic is like game over, really, because that's a very long-term support, right? So if you look at the daily chart, that is a bear flag, right? This is a very big bear flag, and it's forcing its bottom band to break. So obviously, I may be wrong. Maybe it's going to fake. Like those things happen all the time. You know, it's going to fake, break it, and then break back in. So that actually would, you know, cause a reanalysis of things. But what I'm seeing here is that Matic is trying to force that bear flag. OM is one of the best still. And if its top band holds, that green top band is still the target. You can see OM is showing relative strength overall. And PAL is approaching that golden plus blue double support. If it holds, we will see a rally. But yeah, it remains to be seen. Pepe is not really giving any signs of positivity here. And PYR, terrible. Even after breaking out, it's come back in. Again, this is all because of Bitcoin, nothing else. That green support is holding on a render, but the fact that the red blue support is broken, that's not good. And actually, if it breaks that green support that has been tested 3 times, then it is going to come down to this red and maybe even break it. RSR, yep, that golden channel is broken. That is bad. Sandbox, no, it broke out and now it's broken down. So that is a big fake. Shiba, still no action. And Solana has back tested that golden internal support. For a rally to the 200 level, it really has to bounce here. And Sui, not much to say. Theta obviously was already bad because of the green broken support. Tia failed big time and it's testing that black support. And the blue broken bull flag is broken back in after the failure of this golden bull flag. So I'm not sure what Tia is trying to do, but of course, if it breaks the black, then there's going to be more downside for Tia. Monero is one of the best. I told you it tried to break this green top band, and so far, I mean, yesterday it was trying to break out, but it's showing relative strength. It's only down 1%. So it is showing some relative strength, clearly. Ripple hasn't broken that red resistance. So for a rally, it has to go beyond 57 cents. Tezos is down inside that, and it's broken this green support as well. So every single one of them is actually short entries, really. You know, if you're short these coins, you would be making tons of money. Finally, Zcash is that red bottom band together with the black. They have to hold, but so far no real push. All right, guys, take care. Keep in touch.